Test 1, 2, 3. Alright, so something's happening at the Sophia region. In fact, I wouldn't call it like a pure Sophia region because there's so much within this precinct, just within like a walking distance to 4 MRT stations, well within this very interesting heritage zone. It's so hard to put like so many concepts because there's the educational zone, you have SOTA right here, you have all the tertiary education, you have the Sophia Hills region, you also have the Kampong Bugis region. So we're going to head in to review this new exciting development because there's 122 office units, 127 strata retail shops, 367 residents. Wow, look at the amount of greens there. And most importantly, this is one of its kind of a mixed development in the Sophia region. Let's go. Alright, so this is the gallery. This gallery is a little bit different. Oh, why did my voice change? Okay. The right hand side, that is where the show gallery for all the residence unit is. On this side, massive like show gallery model. This is how futuristic it looks like. Just have a look at this. Oh my goodness. First thing that will immediately capture attention will be this beautiful sloping garden. This is like a magic carpet concept according to the architects. This is being done by ADDP Architect as well as Studio Milo, and the chief designer of Studio Milo was the person that also designed our National Gallery of Singapore. Now, this is a project by SingHaiyi Group, has a lot of projects under their belt, including Park Homos, they have Grand Diamond, they also have Park Clementis, they have TNW Maxwell. They also have successfully gotten the land bid for Golden Mile, which is another exciting project that's upcoming. They have been awarded like HPROP Excellence Awards 2024 for top mega development as well as a couple of other projects. And if you have not seen our Sora review, do have a look at the Sora review as well in this link below. But most importantly, our attention today is TCOS. So in short, the collective One Sophia. If you come to the sales gallery along Seligi Road, this will be the actual site. So this used to be Peace Centre as well as Peace Mansion. It was an en-bloc project that has been successfully tendered by SingHaiyi Group. This will be the new concept along Sophia Road as well as Seligi Road. A very prominent location because it's not right tucked inside Sophia Hills region. And if you go into the Sophia Road, you'll head on to this very beautiful enclave that is upslope. And of course, within that project, you have Sophia Hills Residences, you have Sophia Residences, you have Orchard Sophia, you have a couple of projects live at Wilkie, and that is the entire zoning for Sophia and the Wilkie address. And we are in the D9 district, and this particular enclave is well known to many because just on this road, if you look at this particular intersection, once you head down Meader Road, that will bring you towards the entire Bugis precinct. And of course, that's where Kampong Bugis is. And we will be entering into like the South Beach area, Midtown Bay, the M, and those projects are doing very well. Later, we'll dive into some of the pricing analysis because this particular development in terms of the 367 residence unit is launching, in my opinion, a very attractive quantum starting from $2,005 plus to $2,700 per square foot. This is a 9-year project stipulated to TOP on paper 2029 but targeting 2028. They should all TOP together. You have 127 retail shops that will occupy the first 2 levels, 3 levels of basement parking. Now, the good thing is that the retail shop, there's also a basement level that's being reserved for a supermarket vendor. Level 3 to level 13 of this front-facing tower will be the entire 122 office strata units, and these are for sale. And let's head on basically to the office space. So as you can see, 220,000 square feet of workspace, retail space about 90,000 square feet. This is a mock-up basically of the open plan office space. So take note, when you come to this is going to give you a great feel of how the ceiling height is going to be. This is like a mock-up of how you can do up your open plan office with like glass panels and stuff like that. You're going to get an office that allows you flexibility to design. Nowadays, a lot of office likes that open plan kind of concept for cross interaction, for teamwork. Everything has been modernized, and of course with the concept of like co-working spaces and stuff like that, this has really been the new thing that is in the market. So let's have a look at this. So when you come here, you can play around with this. I want to look at level 7. That will bring me to level 7. I can click on it. It will then show me the floor plan. So you can choose which facing you want. Now, common Bathrooms are available. Office lobby, 6 lifts. There's a fire service lift lobby on both ends. So total 2 fire service lift lobby, 6 lifts for all the tenants of every office level. There is also like accessible toilet, a male and female toilet for the tenants over here. Corner units are pretty large. Inter units are pretty good size. So the sizes are ranging basically like there's 174 square meters, there's a huge one at 423. So it really depends on your needs as well. Let's say you don't want something so big, you can also go for like the level 3 office unit. So this is like 100 square meters, there's a 88 square meters, 89 square meters. Of course, do check on the availability. So for example, this allows you to play around, basically to look at stack facing, direction facing as well. So some people has their own requirements, they don't want like a direct afternoon sun and stuff like that. One thing about office unit is that, firstly, I mentioned at the start of the video, there's no ABSD involved. There's no seller stamp duty. There's only seller stamp duty for industrial units that they have to fulfill a 3-year seller stamp duty. For office space, there's no seller stamp duty. You want to sell after a year, 2 years, that's fine. Secondly, is that this allows you to attract international tenants. And most importantly, tenants that wants a global presence or local presence, or whether they're startup, they're companies, they're mid-sized, they're MNCs, they want a District 9 Orchard address. And addresses are important for businesses. It gives them a nice kind of corporate image. It gives them a nice space for them to host basically their guests as well. So just imagine somebody that wants an office over here. What they're hunting for is mainly when their visitors or guests or clients come to meet them at the office, what are they experiencing at the podium? So when they come to the podium, they're going to have this 4 meters ceiling entrance podium that comes directly to the commercial podium space. It's not mixed with the residential space, which is why the developer has segregated the residence lobby as well as the commercial lobby. When they come here, that's going to be like a great first impression. Head up to office, have the meeting, and then they can invite them downstairs to the retail space for lunch, for dinner, for a drink. When you have a retail podium downstairs, that's a great thing. That's a nice combination that tenants want to have. Now, one thing about mixed developments then, out of my entire 17 years in real estate, starting from 2007 until today, I've seen a couple of mixed developments with a few key concepts. Now, some of the developers in the past, when they launch Mixed D, they usually only have the retail strata component as well as the condo residence component. Very seldom do they have like a 3-in-1 concept like this. So this is like a 3-in-1 with a grade A office concept, condo concept, as well as retail concept. The key thing to us, if you are investing whether in the residence unit or the strata office space, is that are the developers selling the retail units? Now, this is a very important element because the way that retail has evolved in Singapore over the last 10 to 15 years is that the moment the developer is managing the entire thing, whether through a property management company, somebody that is very well anchored and experienced in handling retail, that is going to be a key plus point for the entire project. And that's what SingHaiyi is going to do, because this is going to be managed as a whole. They are going to aim to get in anchor tenant, and they want to make sure that the tenant mix, the tenant flow, the human traffic is going to be something that will be held up to a good expectation level. Because the moment you start to sell the individual units, just imagine like 127 different owners. Most of the owners are going to be investors. They're not going to be somebody that will invest their time and energy to hunt for a good tenant mix. They want to be the first to rent out their units. So usually what happens to some of the mixed D with a lot of individual retail investors is that the tenant mix is going to be sometimes pretty not in sync, and usually some people will rent out to maybe like a new shop, maybe they'll rent out to like a F&B, then maybe they'll rent out to a lot of different brands, and there's no like good congregation flow of like whether this unit is supposed to be near the escalator, this unit is supposed to be front facing and stuff like that. But the moment a developer is managing it as a whole, then they will aim to getting the anchor tenants first. They're going to get the big brands, and then gradually they'll curate the tenant mix to make sure that it's well balanced. So that's what is going to happen. Whether you own a condo unit here, or maybe you're going to own it and sell it later on, or you're going to rent it out, there's going to be 2 separate drop-off points and entrances. One for the residence unit, one for the commercial unit. So there's going to be 2 separate podiums and drop-off points. Parking, there's going to be 200 over parking lots, season parking for the residences, as well as separate parking for anybody that's visiting the offices as a retail space. So a very good layout plan. So the facade firstly is beautiful because in terms of the concept, this is a little bit like a sky garden on different elevation at different levels. Glass panels for the office strata space, and in terms of the whole entire architectural design, you feel a nice balance of greens, a modern look, and most importantly, a futuristic facade. 2 signage point One Sophia. This is going to be at the intersection there. So if you look at this yellow beams over there, that's going to be where the One Sophia signage will be. If you peep towards at the back here, with me, this is where the facilities zone will be for the residences. So there's like an Azu pool, there's like a gym, there's basically like a playpen. There's also like different functionalities, clubhouses as well. We'll dive deep into some of the facilities later. Office space, very flexible, because if you want to buy multiple units, you want to combine, that's possible as well. And the commercial segment in Singapore is the only one now without the ABSD element and without the seller stamp duty element, meaning that if you buy today, you can sell tomorrow. You don't have to worry about ABSD, whether is it 20%, 30% or 60%. If you own 2, 3, 4 condos, residential properties or landed properties, you can still buy office strata units for investment or maybe for your own use. And in terms of loans, the investor can go up to 70 to 80%. 80% are for investors that are using it for their own operating company. If you want to set up a holding company to combine and share invest and co-invest with some of your friends or other co-investors, you can go up to 70% in terms of loan. And importantly, the TDSR of your personal residential unit most of the time is not really affected because they take into consideration of the investors as like a guarantor, and of course they will take into consideration of your credit score and stuff like that. But by and large, when you buy a strata office space, if you have an operating company, they are looking at your operating company revenue as well as expenses and P&L. So let's come back to the project a little bit. I'm going to head into one of the show gallery first, but I want to show you the largest one, which is a 3-bed luxury. Let's come in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna head up to level 2 because the 3-bedders, in my perspective, very well done. 3 beds, 3 full bath. I mean, like nowadays, you only get 3 beds, 2 bath. The max you get is a WC yacht bath. You don't get like a 3 full bathroom. And the show gallery on level 2 is like a 3-bedder. Look at this, oh my goodness, it's like a 3-bed luxury model 3D1 concept. You have 3 full bathrooms. Master bathroom, you have a common bathroom that is like a Jack and Jill concept to bedroom number 3. You have an ensuite bathroom for bedroom number 2. And the concept for this is beautiful. You have basically 175 units of studio 1 bed and 1 plus study. You have 158 units of 2 bed 2 plus study and 2 bed 2 bath plus study. And then you have 34 units of 3 bed plus 3 bed luxury. The difference between 3 beds and the 3 beds luxury is that the 3 bed luxury comes with a utility. The normal 3 beds comes with a 3 bed plus home shelter, but both gives you 3 bed 3 bath. So the normal 3 beds is 1022 square feet. The 3 bed luxury is 1227 to 1248 square feet. Now the key difference is basically whether you want to have a smaller unit with a home shelter or a larger one, which is the luxury version. This is the one I'm setting at 122 plus square feet with a utility as well as a utility bath. So technically you have 4 bathrooms. And of course the yacht bath, we usually don't call it a yacht bath, we call it a yacht toilet because it's the smaller version. You can use it of course for your laundry and stuff like that, wash your pets and stuff. And this can be your helper's room, and this can be a store as well. Look at the concept, oh my goodness. This is like a brand new concept. I love the innovativeness of the developer as well as the architect because this is great, this is fantastic. Whether you're home by yourself, you're hosting, you have this nice island top which is part of a kitchen space, like an open kitchen concept, plus the fact that you can also draw up this very beautiful like panel that has a nice tracking all the way, and there's also a bifold swing door here. So you are doing heavy cooking and close up, expel your cooking out into the balcony. So it links to the balcony, and that solves the key question of everybody saying that, you know, now new launches, sometimes you go for like 3-bedder concept, there's no like ventilation window in the kitchen. This really solves the layout issue. So you also can look outwards towards like a TV console, you can host people, you can talk to your guests and stuff and look at your kid, and of course play with your kids and interact with your kids. Kitchen space, fantastic. Common bathroom, but it's Jack and Jill. Let's have a look at this. Oh my goodness, Jack and Jill. So bedroom number 3, room sizes are beautiful. I love this concave portion for your dressing table or maybe like the work desk. 2-panel wardrobe space and full panel windows. Junior master with your own bath. Beautiful space as well. You have 2.7 odd meter ceiling height. Master bathroom not facing towards your bed. Great layout. You have a secondary panel over here. Standing shower, good size. And then you come in here, you have another 2-door panel. Also great size, king bed side tables. You have additional table space outwards. And they sort of created this kind of like concave portions in some of the bedrooms that will not eat into your entire floor space in the master room. So this kind of concave portion, along with the window design, really gives you a lot of space saving kind of mechanism. In terms of the space that you're walking in, I think great. The 1022 square feet, 3-bed, 3-bath version with home shelter, which is not this version, that starts from about $2.8 million. I think in terms of quantum, fantastic, because this is CCR. You're getting into District 9 address, you're getting the Sophia address, and price quantum, when I first saw it, pretty shocking. Let's have a look at it. So when I first saw some of the price quantum, I was just thinking, oh my goodness. So the studios are expected to start from 1.14 million, which is 2650 PSF. Of course, they've already launched this by the time I'm filming it. Some of the units has been gone. So do check with the developers rep for the balance unit. Of course, you can also connect with our PropertyLimBrothers new launch team that specializes in new launch analysis. So 1-bedders are starting from 2007 plus PSF, which is about 1.35 million onwards. 2-bedders starting from 1.7 plus million, 2,560 plus PSF onwards. 3-bed 2.85, which is 2007 plus PSF onwards. That is fabulous, because why? Quantum play is great. When we compare PSF, you look at what has been launched in D15, what has been launched in Lentor, what has been launched, some of the projects at D19. And when you look at a PSF that's already performing very well received, more than 60-70% sold on day 1 for most of the developments, they are trading at 2004 to 2007, some even at 2008 PSF for some of the high floor units. And this is starting from 2005 plus and 2006 plus, 2007 plus for different bedroom types. CCR D9, I think there's an opportunity here. When we look at the different regions of Singapore, CCR is always known as the foreigners' playground. Foreigners likes to buy properties, stay, rent, or they flip. Seasoned investors, Singaporean investors, they like to buy District 9, 10, 11, whether it's for investment, for schools, for future potential to hold it. This is a core old money district. They also like to go for D1, D2, D8, D7 as well, looking either for shop houses, retail space, office space, residential units as well. And these are some of the regions along Marina, along Bugis, along the South Beach front, along Dhoby Ghaut area, and they want to get into action. So the reason why the attention has dwindled was because of ABSD. Purely ABSD because of residential units. 60% for foreigners, and what has happened is that if we look at this chart over here, the last 2 years, foreigners transaction for residential units less than 2% per annum. However, this does not mean that the foreigners are exiting their units. In fact, the foreigners that already own units, like a lot of our clients, they are not selling at all, because the moment they sell, they cannot buy back. They will buy back with 60% EBSDs. What this means is that if you look at the 370,000 units that we have in the residential space in the entire Singapore, and we think that sometimes we think that we have millions of condo units. No, we don't have. Condos and apartments, we only have about 370,000. Per year, we increase by 5,000 to 10,000 units. Our government is controlling GLS at a very tight, prudent kind of like management sequence. They are not releasing huge bulk of GLS as land. They are also controlling the land bid price. If you look at the recent Marina View, Jurong, they rejected some of the bids because they feel that they are too low. They need to maintain a certain level of pricing for the private residential market. So Singapore market has become so stable because out of the 370,000 units, approximately 80,000 units are being owned by foreigners and PR buyers. And they already own these units, then they are not selling because they don't want to buy back with a higher ABSD. And Singaporeans only own probably about 290 plus units. And we thought that we have a lot of units available, but technically we don't have. So when we come back to CCR, I think now there's like a disparity bridge, and the closeness of the PSF is really interesting because if you look at OCR and RCR, 2.4 to 2.8. Here, this is 2.5 to 2.7 starting from. Of course, some of the units might be 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, 3,000, all right? But this is D9. This is CCR. And let's plonk out some of the figures. Look at the M, look at Midtown Modern, look at Midtown Bay, look at the dual residences, look at South Beach residences. Some of these projects over at the Bugis zone, they are all now in the resale market at about 3,000 to 3,000 plus PSF. In fact, even when they were first launched, they're already hitting close to 3. And this just shows the amount of popularity, take-up rate, and the buying power of buyers and investors in this region. So when you go into an enclave that already have an existing strong buying power audience that are already transacting at about 3,000 plus PSF, and all the owners, if you head on to PropertyGuru.com and have a look at their asking price right now, they're not selling cheap. They're all asking at about 3,000 plus PSF, and the quantum price of some of their 1-2 betas has already exceeded the asking price of One Sophia. So I seriously ask you to come and have a look at this project because I think the quantum play and the PSF play both hits the sweet spot. So this is going to be the futuristic outlook. Now take note, this is an educational belt. It's an arts belt as well because there's SOTA, there's NAFA Academy, SMU is over here. You have this entire area filled with young people, the next gen. When you come on a weekday, you will see a lot of young people walking along Seligi Road for lunch and stuff like that after school. And because you have Dhoby Ghaut, which is like a pristine office area, there's like grade A offices there as well. The retail at Plaza Sing is fantastic. You also have a nice residential enclave tucked inside the entire Sophia enclave region. So this is a very well balanced zone. And I think when this project is fully built, this is going to bring out so much more catalyst to this entire zoning. Now, firstly, when you go for, let's talk about residential units first. If you want to invest in a residential unit, it's always good to have grade A offices within your project because if there's going to be any expats that are working here, they want to stay near within the same compound. They want to just come down, switch a lift and then head up to work. That's going to be so convenient. Bearing in mind there's also going to be like 140 bicycle lots and 90 over bicycle lots that's reserved for the residents over here. It's going to have that work, live, play kind of concept that's going to be so convenient. And of course, we have like 4 MRT stations. They're all within 10 minutes walk. Some of the MRT stations is Rochor, Bencoolen, Bras Basah. You have Dhoby Ghaut as well. They're all like 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes walk within this entire precinct. I'm going to head downstairs, show you some of the smaller units. 2-beta, I think the developer is smart because the 2-beta PSF starts from the lowest, 2005 plus PSF, 2006 PSF. There is a couple of layouts available. This one, the 2-bed premium, which is a 2-bed, 2-bath dumbbell layout. 2-betas, we have 2-bed deluxe, all right? 2-bed deluxe is a 2-bed 1-bath. That starts from 646 and 667 square feet. Okay, you also have a 2-bed deluxe plus study at 700 square feet, but there's this version that you must get. That is the 667 square feet, this one. I haven't seen this layout before. The kitchen, the dining plus the living is like a great space, and this is like a fantastic layout that I think has broken the conventional design. So it's a 2-bed deluxe, which is a 2-bed 1-bath, but the layout is wide. Is at only at stack 35. You also have 2-bed premium, which is 76 square feet. This is the one we're standing at, plus 2-bed premium plus study, which is 764 square feet as well. Interestingly, 2-bed premium plus study is the same size as a 2-bed premium because the 2-bed premium plus study at 764 square feet gives you a segregated study zone, and the 2-bed premium at 764 square feet as well has no study area but gives you a household shelter. So this is the show gallery unit with a household shelter, but if you get the 2-bed plus study, I think you should get that one because that is like 2-bed plus study, and to me, I think the home shelter versus the study is more premium. Home shelter, of course, great for storage, but if you can get that study zone, I think it's great. So, but there's only one stack, stack 25, 2 bed, 2 bath, plus study. More importantly, they're of the same size, so you should get that one. This has more stacks, 41, 29. If you're getting the 2 bed, 1 bath, get the one at stack 35. The rest will be the 2 bed deluxe at different other stacks, but let's have a look. I love the width of it, master room, and then of course you have a Jack and Jill version, a concentrated like open kitchen kind of concept. Let's have a look at what they're giving. This is the Electrolux integrated fridge. You have Smack induction over here, good brands, Smack hood, and of course like a nice L panel differential in terms of the depth at the top hung cabinet. Plug points nicely done. Very modernized, cool kind of concept. This is a room that you can use it as like a walk-in wardrobe style, or of course as a common bedroom. This 2 bed deluxe. We're going to check out the studio. Firstly, if you're hunting for small units, you have studio at 430 square feet and 452 square feet. So this is the studio layout. This is the one at 40 square meters, which is 430 square feet, all right? You also have 1 bedroom suite. Those are starting at 484, 506 square feet. Those have a segregated master room. And of course, you have 1 bed plus study at 546 square feet, which has a study room, but no home shelter. If you go for the normal 1 bedders, they have home shelters, which is the 538 square feet one. The 1 bedroom suite has no home shelter. So 484 square feet and 506 square feet has no home shelter. 538 square feet 1 bedder has a home shelter. 549 square feet has a 1 plus study. And of course, the studio has no home shelters. These are studio units, which looks like hotels. So we're gonna experience the studio unit. Open concept, your bed, your TV console panel, dining space. So this is like a combination of living, dining. Okay, Smack induction. So you have Blanco sink, and then of course, let me see what's at the bottom. Some pull-outs over here. Smack oven, nice backsplash that's in sync with the tabletop. The design for the bathroom is also great. They're giving, oh, have a look at this. It's like great fittings that's been given. You also have the total bath appliances. You also have the total bath fittings. Huge swing door. Oh, they're providing this. This is a magnifying mirror that you only get in hotels. Pull-outs at the bottom. Nowadays, you always have this for you to put your toilet rolls and stuff like that. Wow, with more storage. And of course, Electrolux, washer cum dryer given. All these are like huge storage space. Distribution box, shoe cabinet space. And of course, this is like just a suggestion of what you can do in terms of wardrobe space as well. Wow! Whoa, 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 whoa. So when you have guests over, just push this. You can, there's no need to like tidy out your wardrobe. You have more space here. Oh! Oh my tian! This is like for you to work. Wow, a lot of space for you to utilize. Let's check out the wardrobe. I think it's a good starting investment. You get the D9 address. Studio starts from 1.1 plus or 1.2 million. I think it's great. PSF 2728 plus minus. Great quantum to enter, because seriously, if you look at some of the resale 1 bedders, they are already asking for like 1.2 million. Let's explore in depth. So you have a garden lounge here for the office space. You have shops basically on level 1 and level 2. Level 3 is the start point of your office units with accessibility to the garden. Level 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, these are like nice corner units. And then you also have like level 5, 7, some having that garden deck. Some of the units you can see this sloping magic carpet garden. I love that kind of like concave, convex kind of concept in terms of architectural. You also have like here, some of the office units is going to have like linkage point that you can see into the fitness area, playpen, patio, gym as well. So pretty interesting. Now take note, there's all these like sky alcove gardens for the residential units. So you have one at level 5, 7, level 9, level 12, level 14, the 17, level 19. Pretty interesting. Stack facing is basically whether you're facing externally or you're facing internally towards the pool, or you're facing towards this direction. I think most importantly, the facing is not like 100% kind of thing that has a high priority. The most important thing is that when you get into projects within the CCR zone, because CCR zone is very dense, a lot of buildings around you. Even if you buy something that faces a bare plot of land, in future there's going to be a new building. But new buildings are good because when new buildings pop up, they raise the benchmark PSF of the entire precinct, entire enclave. So when you hunt for something in CCR, what's important is your entry quantum. The entry quantum affects your rental yield. If you enter at a lower quantum, your rental yield is going to be stronger, because the tenants in future, how you can actually beef out your rental is through what you provide internally, because tenants are going to look at basically how good a landlord is plus what is being provided. If you place in nice furniture, furnish the place for your tenants, they're going to love the unit. Compared to if you get like a high premium, maybe very high floor, very unblocked view, but you're inside the high quantum, but you don't want to give a lot of things to your tenant, it's going to affect your rental yield. So most importantly, even if you get a low floor, you get something that faces another stack and stuff like that, or faces outward. The important thing is how do you calibrate the internal interior value for your tenant to get a good rental yield. So some landlords very experienced and they are hunting for all the low quantum, low floor units, and even if the facing is facing very close to each other, that doesn't really matter to them. What they are aiming for is the quantum, because they want their rental yield to be good. And of course, when you sell in future, when you enter at a low quantum, it's also easier to exit. You don't have to sell at a very high price to exit. You can sell at slightly lower than your next door neighbor, right? Or your higher floor units, because your quantum entry is already low, all right? So that's one strategy to look at. So if you own some of the stack 8 and 9 office unit, or stack 10, you get the pool view of the residential units as well. This is a sloping downwards point towards the basement parking, and then you can see the basement car park from here. Coming back to my first part is that we firstly want to know, are the developers selling the retail units? Because if the developer is selling it, then what is going to happen is that I will start to get a little bit worried of what will be the tenant mix. But when you TOP and they're getting anchor tenants, there's nice F&B, food, cafes, bistros, supermarket and stuff like that, then basically I own an office strata units. I don't have to be worried. I know that there's going to be like key like brands, coffee areas and stuff, and bakeries and stuff, and that's going to be great, not just for my visitors but also for my employees as well. So these are great things and nuances that sometimes people don't think about, but these are what bosses and tenants think about when they hunt for office strata space. So importantly, this is like a full 99 years as well. And some of the very notable 99 years office space that's done really well is like Paya Lebar Square. Just have a look at Paya Lebar Square. You have SingPost building, you have PLQ Mall, you have that Paya Lebar Square upstairs with a lot of office units, and of course that's already like probably about 10 over years old already. The tenant mix downstairs is beautiful, and which is why the units are always occupied. Vacancy rate is low, and that is in Paya Lebar, and this is like a full-blown 99-year office space. And you're going to own it for 99 years. That means you can keep it rented. You pay it off in 30 years or 25 years time. After that, that's going to be full-blown passive income. So occupancy rate in Orchard, let's bring out some of the charts, is also pretty low. And in fact, for Orchard area, because of the address, I think that's one of the key reasons that vacancy rates, when you have an exiting tenant, a new tenant comes in quickly. And I also love the fact that there's varying sizes over here. It caters to your needs as an investor. And if you want to have like maybe not a very big unit, you want to cater to different needs, or you want to buy one big, one small, I think that's possible. You want to buy like adjacent units on maybe 3 units on a level, that's possible as well, because in future if you have a big anchor tenant that wants a big space, you can actually hack down and give them a combination of space. So it really depends on investing in an office unit over here. Alright, now last but not least, if you want to have a look at this, the collective at One Sophia. This is going to be a building which will be up very likely by 2028. Have a look at this video, have a look at the links right down below, and of course give a call to our consultants. They'll be able to advise you more. And of course, once again, my name is Melvin Lim, PropertyLimBrothers. As always, happy to show a place. Meantime, take care.